Like, the only thing that I'm looking at is metaphor. And I'm looking at you and I'm like, you're an SMT or a Persona in disguise.
You're 2 Atlas games in a trench coat.
You're not fooling me, dude. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the HGO podcast. I'm one of your hosts today, Ethan. Joining me, as always, are my good friends, Kyle.
Hello.
Jack.
Hello.
And Hunter. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing just swell.
We found Jack again. We don't know where he showed up, but we found him. He's here. I mean, the podcast recording's like 3 hours late now because of it, but you know, he's here and we're vibing and it's all good. It's nice to see you, Jack. You doing alright?
You too, guys. It's been good to catch up.
Been a while. It has been a while. And you've joined at such a great time, Jack, because let me tell you, I know that there's nothing that you've been more excited for in your life than the HD-2D remake of Dragon Quest III. I know that it's been on your vision board forever, and Cal's going to tell you if it's worth it. He's going to tell you what he thinks about it. Who knows what else?
And then he's going to tell you what he thinks of you.
What? Oh no!
The Yakabine review. The Yakabine
just a roast of Jack?
Yeah.
Dare you subject?
Oh
to
god!
It's all good. It's all good. But no, it's probably going to be a chill episode today, guys. It might be a shorter episode than usual because we're recording super late and we spent 3 hours trying to come up with something to do in the second half, and it ranged from terrible ideas to they were all terrible ideas. So we're just going to vibe with it and see what happens.
Funny suggestion.
I think Kyle's suggestion was delightful.
Who knows? Maybe
I'm
we'll
so
steep
tired,
so
I might
low.
just go to bed now.
Yeah, you go ahead. You just take your headphones off and go, and then we'll just leave you in the corner.
Just don't hit your head on the desk.
Yeah, good idea. But yeah,
Sharp.
we're talking about Dragon Quest III. We will talk about some other games here and there. Hunter might catch us up on his Dragon Age stuff. Jack's been playing Pokemon Go for some reason, which is weird because I've heard a couple of people have been getting back into Pokemon Go recently. So I don't know if that's just like that time of the year again where people desperately crawl back to Pokemon Go. But hey, people are doing it.
Hey man, we're going back to 2016.
Yeah, speaking of 2016, I've been playing classic Overwatch as well. So yeah, we're all going back, ladies and gentlemen.
This is that Watchmen meme. If you know, it's the year is 2016 and all these things are happening in Dr. Manhattan. So they're like, and then the year is 2024 and all these things are happening. And he's like,
yeah, yeah. So we've got some stuff to talk about. But yeah, you're new here, welcome to the HGO podcast. We're here every Monday at 5 p.m. UK time, 12 p.m. Eastern on podcast services everywhere and at youtube.com/hotgamersonly. Housekeeping for you. Reviews are coming when I can. I've been working I want to get this Life is Strange review done. It has been sitting half done in my Google Drive for about 2 weeks, and work has just been a bitch, and I just haven't had a chance to actually sit down and write or do anything. Hopefully this week will be a little bit quieter, so I'm hoping to have it done this week. No promises, but I really hope so, because I want to get it out here, and I don't want it to be like the Life is Strange True Colors review where there was no video for it. So we will try and get it out as quickly as possible, I promise. And there'll be some other stuff happening when we can. Obviously, Game Awards. If you're watching this right now, Game Awards nominations should have gone out. Like they're probably around the same time, if not within the next hour. So if you want to see how wrong we were last week, go and check that out and compare, because they'll be there. And can I just say, guys, we nailed that. We absolutely nailed the timing on that episode.
I can't believe Kiwi is so afraid of us that he has to counter program.
Yeah, I'm so proud that we managed to not only get the week right, but we also got it out before anybody else could actually do the same. So I'm like very proud of that. I'm like, we weren't even following a trend there. We were on it. So fuck you, Jeff. We know your game.
That video got a lot of traction.
Yeah, thank you. On both podcasts and on YouTube. So thank you for hanging out with us if you did. And thank you to all 5 Black Myth Wukong fans for sending death threats to me. It's great. I love it. You're still not getting a Game of the Year nom. Go fuck yourselves. Anyway, I'm sure the game's fine. You know when it's one of those things where it's like similar to Hogwarts Legacy, where it's like, I'm sure the game is fine, but it just attracts the wrong crowd, where I'm like,
yeah,
I'm sure if I just played it, like I bought it on Steam right now and play Black Myth Wukong, I'm sure it's a fine game. It's just a lot of the people that are vocal about it
just you don't
give you the wrong vibes.
It.
They give me the ick, dude. They give me the ick. What can I say?
Yeah.
But yeah, all
And
that
none of us on the show played it either, so
No.
we don't
Yeah.
have a take on it one
Maybe
way or
I
the
will
other.
one day. Maybe I will.
It's one of those
but
things where it's like, I'll get to it someday, but it's
Yeah.
not super high on the priority list. I
Yeah.
liked it more as a concept when I saw the first trailer.
Yeah, but hey, you know, we'll see. We'll
And then we
see.
kept seeing trailers for it.
And again,
Yeah.
and again. But hey, we'll be talking about Game Awards again in a couple of weeks. We'll do our predictions for who's going to win and all of that jazz, and the reveals. We'll do that in a couple of weeks' time because we like to do that close to the day. So if you're into that, stay tuned, I guess, on podcasts and YouTube. With all that out of the way, let's just get straight to the main topic of the show, ladies and gentlemen. Dragon Quest III, Amazon did deliver for once in Kyle's life on release day. He got the game, ladies and gentlemen. He got the game.
We got it.
Oh,
The day it was supposed to show up.
what
they
a
did it.
miracle.
Ooh.
Jeff Bezos has outdone himself today. Like, my God.
If you guys don't remember, way back in the first season of the podcast when Crash 4 came out,
Yeah.
my
You
copy
wait-
came in a week late. So
Yeah, not just a
everyone
day.
else in our group was going through it, had already 106%ed it
Mhm.
by the time I got the video game, except for Hunter, because trophies are dumb. Trophies
Yeah,
are for
exactly.
nerds.
I think I was still finishing the game normally as you were starting it.
We had the whole document, like,
Dude, we
Oh
were
yeah,
the first
the
people in
whole
the world
NASA
finding some of this
video
stuff, dude. We
wall.
were
It
like
was
NASA.
insane.
I was
Kyle
like,
sat there like,
Like
huh?
Ethan, you're in the top 10 for like
Platinum.
yeah,
like,
I'm one of
first
the I'm in the
platinum
top 10.
clears.
I'm one of the first 10 people to have 106%ed Crash 4, yeah. That is
That's
a
awesome,
stat, which
dude.
is kind of crazy. Same for Crash 2 as well. I have both of those. The NST version of Crash 2, I'm in like the top 20 or so, I believe. But yeah, so that's always a fun one. But you just saying that just makes me realize, oh my God, Crash 4 is 4 years old. That is like
Yeah.
brain like melting kind of craziness. Time is a weird construct which I don't understand anymore because it does not feel like it's been 4 years.
And I've never gone back to that game after finishing it.
And I have gone
Neither have I.
back to it quite a lot, actually, more than I thought I would. But God, hope Toys for Bob's doing
In
good.
retrospect, I feel
Do
like
you
I'm
aspire
glad I
for,
wasn't
buddy?
part of. I feel like I'm glad I wasn't part of that because I feel like I would have just been pretty negative towards the game
Maybe.
in a sea of positivity.
Maybe. I mean,
It's a
that
lot
game
of
has
people
its
just
problems.
trying to figure out the game.
Yeah. That game,
It's real big.
I think that's one of the
It's a
joys of it,
lot.
really, is I see a lot of positives when a lot of people are like, it's really hard, and it's really long, and it's really tedious. And I'm like, I understand it. But from a Crash fan, I don't think there was any better present to be given than Crash 4, so that a load of, Ocelot, who are fans of Crash, could literally sit around in a Discord call for an entire week to try and still trying to figure stuff out, where the hidden gems are, how to actually do well at the time
Yeah.
trials. It was a really fun
mean-
experience from that perspective. Now looking back at it and going, oh, it's going to take me 12 to 24 hours to 100% that game if I ever want to retry that. That's tedious as fuck. But, I respect it.
Personally,
and
I
enjoyed it.
found it a lot more better with just the experience of doing that altogether because some of those boxes were completely ridiculous.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Also, it's just like I say, proud moment to be like some of the first people in the world to solve everything.
Yeah, it was
And
so
we didn't,
fun.
Oh, yeah,
we
and I'll
didn't
never
use
take
any
that
guides or
away
anything
from
like
you.
that.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it's pretty fun. But anyway, enough about that. Enough
Pretty
about
awesome
Amazon
birthday
being
boy.
shit at their delivery service. You got the game. You got Dragon Quest.
I did.
What are you playing it on, by
I
the
got
way?
I'm playing it on Switch.
You playing it on Switch? Cool. Just like
that,
all
that
of
just
Japan.
felt like the right
Yeah.
console to get it for.
It's where the HD-2D lives.
It's true. It's where it was born. It's where it's gonna live forever.
It makes me like, yeah, because like in Japan it's like it's completely sold out on Switch. Like it's crazy. Obviously, Dragon Quest's a different beast in Japan. It is just, it is the holiday. That is their, holiday season is just when Dragon Quest releases, but completely sold out on Switch. The PS5 Pro is doing quite well in Japan, actually, which I find quite surprising. And there's a part of me that genuinely thinks that there's just some nutters that have just bought consoles for Dragon Quest again, because this is what they do. They're very weird in Japan. They're having a great time. And, fair play to them. How much time have you put into it so far?
I put in about 5 hours. Not too far.
Not too
I didn't
far.
really even get to play it until today, just because I had other stuff going on.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. And final little beginner question, I guess, for the people at home who have not heard of your opinions on Dragon Quest before, what's your history with Dragon Quest? What have you played? What have you liked? How are you feeling on Dragon Quest going up into this?
I played Dragon Quest 11 and I
Mhm.
loved it. And that's where my history with Dragon Quest starts and ends.
Yeah. And you didn't play it at launch either. You played it, you caught up like
No.
it was relatively recently. It was during the podcast live,
It
wasn't
was
it?
during
Yeah.
podcast's life. I think it was like 2021 or 22. I don't know, Hunter, remember for me.
I think
Come
it was
on,
20.
brain.
I think it was 22. I don't know specifically.
I don't know either, but recent enough to where if you dig through our archives, you can probably find my opinion on it
It's
somewhere.
crazy that we can do that now, where it's like you can go back and you can literally go, oh, how was I feeling about that kind of, how was I feeling about this game that came out 4 years ago? And I'm like, actually, I've got an hour of me chatting shite about this that I can go back to as reference. It's weird. I don't like there's parts of it where I'm like, oh, that's cool. There's also parts of me that's like, I can't believe that we've been doing this since Animal Crossing and Doom Eternal came out. Like that is just like,
Yeah.
But hey ho.
Oh, where does the time go, dude?
Where does it go? And also, can I just say, it's like my friend keeps bringing this up. Why have we not changed? Like it's been 5 years of our fucking lives, and we all basically look the same. It's very weird.
Well, I'm a vampire, so I just look like this now.
I guess I must be too, because that's just how this works, I guess. But anyway, you've got a long history of HD-2D as well. Obviously, you're a massive fan of Octopath Traveler 1 and 2.
Oh yeah, those games are fantastic.
You liked Live Alive?
Live Alive was pretty solid. Very good remake. Did not get nearly enough love.
No, but so you know.
Same with Triangle Strategy.
I forgot Triangle Strategy
A bit
existed.
The redheaded stepchild of the HD-2D group. But
I was gonna say I own all of them bar Triangle Strategy. I haven't played any of them, but I own them all.
Yeah, I know. Fix that.
And I own them all on Switch as well, because that is the correct place to own these games, I feel.
Triangle Strategy will always tickle me because of the little intro stinger. We were talking about the what the special edition box should be, and I just pulled out my little Triforce lamp.
Anyway, enough of the bullshit. Can you tell we're trying to pad, ladies and gentlemen? No. How are you feeling on it? As a you're going into this blind, right? Dragon Quest.
Yeah.
Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3 hold a special place in a lot of people's hearts, not only for being, breakout huge in Japan. Obviously, it's like Dragon Quest is the quintessential RPG for Japan. They absolutely adore it. But also, as someone that's coming into it new, who is, playing this, they're releasing
Someone
1 and
like
2
me.
later. Yeah, they're releasing 1 and 2 later. They're doing the whole, is it Erdrick? What's his name?
Erdrick,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm on it, guys. I'm on it.
He remembered a character's name.
I did it in a
He hasn't
JRPG.
even played this
I haven't
one.
even played it.
Varl could never.
Who?
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, they're doing the whole trilogy as a start. How are you feeling on it so far?
I enjoy it so far. It's a lot different from Dragon Quest 11, where in the sense that DQ 11 gave you like a set characters with set stories that you go through, experience as the game goes on. And in Dragon Quest 3, you're given your protagonist character Erdrick, and then you're basically after that you basically make your team after that. So you go to this place and you make your 3 other party members, assign them their classes, and that's pretty much your team for the rest of the game. It's essentially like you're playing single player Dungeons and Dragons, essentially.
Is it beginner friendly then, or?
That depends. So I've struggled a little bit, but I don't know if that's just me not knowing what I'm doing or if it's because my team is bad.
Yeah, it's like one issue I would have if I was to like pick it up.
That was the Baldur's Gate experience before getting Karlach.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. And I don't know if this game has a Karlach equivalent. So basically, my team right now, it's the main character who's kind of like jack of all trades. Then I've got a thief, a warrior, and a mage. Just like an offensive mage, like a black mage. I don't have a healer, so this is going to be very funny.
Who needs
one way or the other? I mean,
he's a great man.
Erdrick has healing in him, but it's a very small heal.
But it's always been interesting. Like the HD-2D games have always been really interesting to me because it's like, you know, they are basically a love letter to fans of these original JRPGs like Octopath, right?
Mhm.
And then they started remaking old games in that engine. Basically, it has just become like the NES, SNES remake engine for Square. Is if they're gonna do one of these pixel remakes,
Yeah.
different to a pixel remaster, because obviously that's its own separate thing. But you know,
And it's super cool too, because like they're not going for the obvious picks. Like, who the fuck would play Live Alive?
it's done
Like
and it did
that game
well
was
for them.
Japanese exclusive back when
Yeah.
it released on SNES.
Or Star Ocean was the
Star
other random one.
Ocean.
Yeah,
Yeah, I forgot about that one. I forgot that even happened.
I think that was what was that last year's?
It's the real redheaded stepchild of the
I
group,
genuinely did. I
apparently.
didn't even know that existed, to be honest. Yeah. But you know, it's like it's interesting to me because when you say Jack beginner friendly and stuff like that, and it's like I feel like with Dragon Quest, it's gonna be one of those weird things, right? Where it's like you're gonna have similar to, you know, how Persona 5 blew up the franchise for Persona quite a bit. Dragon Quest 11 really did get a lot of Western fans into Dragon Quest. Like it was just like it was the entry level point. Like it just shoved the fuckers in, right? It was like, you want to play Dragon Quest? Get on in here. There have been other Dragon Quest games that have been and have done well in the West. Obviously, is it Dragon Quest 9? Is it that's on the DS?
I think.
Think it's 9?
Maybe 7.
Yeah, I think in my head I feel like it's 9. Fact check me on that if I'm wrong. It's the one I'm thinking of. But I remember back in the day when I was in high school.
It's 9.
UK, yeah, UK high school, not US high school. I'm talking about I was like 12, not like 14 or 16 or whatever. But like a load of people, like I knew a load of people who were playing Dragon Quest. I never heard of Dragon Quest. I'm like, what are these losers do? Play Dragon Quest on their DS in the dorm room or whatever while we were on like, you know, on a trip. But like, I'm like, what a bunch of weirdos. And you know, now like a decade after that, 11's huge. Like it's massive. It's done really well for them. And it's like, it's weird, right? Because it's like now, it's like, you know, you got Dragon Quest 12 coming whenever.
Eventually.
Like that game's in dev hell right now, which, you know, fair play.
Soon TM.
Soon TM. But, you know,
Just
Jack brings up a good
special.
point. Jack brings up a good point that's like, yeah, Dragon Quest 11 has been on, it was on Switch, it was on PlayStation. Everyone's going to look at it and go, is this for me? Do I want to pick this up? Because there's going to be people that aren't fans of HD-2D that see this and go, oh, new Dragon Quest.
It's such a big franchise as well. Like, what,
huge.
You're saying you're on to 12. Yeah. How did you pick up a game so far into its franchise?
Well, it's,
I mean,
they're all
same way you do
standalone.
with Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
I did it with Persona 5, and I really enjoyed Persona 5, but it took me a while to like understand the mechanics of it.
And I think it's just like there's always going to be that learning curve with JRPGs. You just kind of got to hop in and see if the water's fine.
I picked up quick,
also,
but I think Dragon Quest might be also similar.
You know, you mentioned Final Fantasy.
Sure.
I think what Final Fantasy is experiencing right now is a real problem with the numbering, where it is actually alienating quite a few people.
For me.
Because I have friends who I'm like, you know, I'm like, you should. They've liked Kingdom Hearts. I'm like, you should play Final Fantasy, and they're like, oh yeah, but there's 16 of them, and I'm like, a lot of people don't understand. Normies do not understand that you can just pick up any of these fuckers and they're all independent. Like the only reason, the only ones that I have gotten my normie friends to even have a slight faint interest in is the 7 remake, because they know 7's a really good one, and it's like they feel like the remake Rebirth is kind of standalone. So it's like with Dragon Quest,
I picked it up and I was quite happy with it as well. But it's also like every time I get like materia, I'm like, what do I do with these things?
No, you just
well, it would help if you played them more than a year apart.
Yeah, true. But you know, you just got. But you know, it's like with Dragon Quest, right? It's like you're going from a brand new entry here to what is, you know, HD-2D, wonderful engine, makes everything look brand new and shiny. But at its heart, this is still the classic kind of RPG with its RPG mechanics.
I mean, that's the beauty of Dragon Quest. It hasn't changed its formula since
which is what
the
I was
80s.
Thank you. That was where I was trying to lead you, was the difference between Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest is Dragon Quest has not fucking shifted itself in the past, like, 3 decades.
That makes it a bit more easier.
Dragon Quest is Dragon Quest. Like, it's like, it is Pokemon. It is, like, they'll make a few tweaks here and there, but they have stuck tried and true with their formula.
Literally. Look at some of the designs.
Yeah, if you've
Where do you think
played
they got him?
Fly mate
if you've
fucking
played
leaving.
any
Yeah.
if you've played any turn-based RPG, like it's as simple can be with Dragon Quest. Like your characters are all defined to whatever role you gave them when you made them. You, as far as I am aware, there's no deviations, there's no changing what they can do. Your mages sling spells, your warriors hit stuff really hard. Like it is as simple and by the numbers as it can get. Like what's up, Hunter?
Oh, I was gonna ask if there were like any modern quality of life adjustments in this.
Can you speed up the
where,
battles?
Like,
Can you set it to
Yes,
baby
does-
goo goo gaga?
does
can speed up
dying
the battles.
does dying to a boss send you 2 hours backwards because they hate your face? You know.
No. The game
That's
does very frequent autosaving. I believe it's every room transition gives you an autosave.
Oh, hell yeah.
And when you die to a boss, you can restart from the last autosave or go back to the last actual save that you made.
Are the options as fucking dog shit as Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, where you have to literally sit there and solve a puzzle on the menu? Would you like to reload from last save? Would you like to fight from the
No.
last boss? Would you like to go back to the before the boss begin? Like all that shite? Like, oh my god.
No, it's not that bad.
Okay, thank God for that.
The options tell you what they do.
I feel like I'm so a little bit.
There's no do you not want to not start the boss fight over again.
Basically, Jack, whenever you died in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, it had 3 options, and all of them did
You had
not
to solve
sound
a
like the
fucking math
right
problem.
option. Yeah, it was like, do you
And if
wanna...
Susie has 3 apples and she gives Jimmy 2, which
how many
option
does
do you
Frank
pick?
have? Yeah, like it's like, you know, like
who's Frank?
yeah, it was like Square has, and it's not just Rebirth, like Square has had like a tendency in recent years to have dog shit menu design where it does, like Kingdom Hearts 3 was a bit like this as well, where I'm like, just put it, do you want to restart the battle or no? Like, why'd you have to go restart from battle, restart before just battle, and go to your last save before your last blah blah blah? Like, god, so complicated.
No, you get multiple options now to just go back.
Yeah, and none of them sound like the right one ever. But
It's all the same thing. Like go before battle, could do the same.
It'll be like just before the battle, go to the last auto save, go to your last manual save, and it's
you
like
can do the same thing from every point.
Yeah, but you don't know when the last auto save was, and your last manual save might be 35 minutes ago, and it's like, and restarting the battle, it'll be like restart the. It'll be like, do you want to restart the battle? Yeah, do you want to restart the battle from the chapter, or do you want to restart the battle from the start of it, which could be 35
Final
minutes?
Fantasy VII Rebirth is a gamble.
Sure was, baby.
It's certainly a video game.
Anyway, so plenty of quality of life changes, plenty of like accessibility options in terms of going back in, speeding up battles, all of that jazz. Is this just where I think it's going to go when we talk about, you know, as we've talked about Live Alive before in the past, where this is just basically a quintessential way for people to play this game if they haven't already. It is new, it is shiny, it looks great, it plays pretty great as well. Have they just done it again? Is Square Enix just going back into that gold mine of just going, hey, we can just keep making these HD-2D games because they're just going to keep being bops every time? Like, is that how it feels?
Good.
Yeah.
I mean, because like, what is it even available for before this? Like,
it's probably like $300 on
64.
eBay. Yeah.
iOS and Android. The Wii.
Oh hell yeah!
You're gonna go play Dragon Quest 3 on your Nintendo Wii?
Maybe.
That was probably Virtual Console Japan only. Let's be real.
Probably, yeah.
Thinking about it.
Back then, yeah.
What was the question?
Is it just another HD-2D home run of, yeah, this is probably the way to play this game going forward?
I mean, it's pretty solid. Like, there are things I kind of wish were tweaked, like the encounter rate is miserable.
Can I
no
ask,
ways to change it in the settings?
It's about like every 10 steps you get a new encounter. And it's like, oh, this is fantastic.
Was this PlayStation game originally?
No, this
was
like SNES or
SNES.
Yeah, Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
I thought it was one of like the PlayStation Dragon Quest games.
Or no, it was NES original.
Yeah, it was NES, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's old. But yeah, so I
It's a
assume it doesn't have any of
classic.
those features like from the pixel remasters that are available for Final Fantasy on Switch, where you can turn down
Not that I saw,
tweets
but
and stuff.
also I didn't really look too deep into the menus because I'm like, it's an RPG. What do I need to tweak? There's no camera I need to no camera turning I need fix.
You see, that's why you should always check the menu. I ever since I played
I
Persona 4,
usually do. I
ever
just
since I played
forgot.
Persona 4 Golden, I'm like always check the menu because I was sitting there bitching to you guys about how the game's slow as hell and the
Oh
XP
yeah,
is dog
having to
shit, and there was a
grind the
setting in
hands
the
and
menu
fight
to
Hulk Hogan for a million years.
and there was a setting in the menu to turn the XP up, and I'm like, well, you see, look, there's my fix right there, just because I'm a dumb fuck and didn't look in the menu. I always look at the menu, dude.
I mean, I usually check the menu as problems arise. I don't usually go, let me have a look here first.
Oh yeah,
Hmm.
but no. So encounter rates,
I'm-
bit dire.
It's really, really bad, dude. Like, it feels like NES RPG encounter rates. Like, we need to pad this game for rental times
Yeah.
to get you kids to rent this game again.
Whoa,
Like,
swarm of Zubat be upon ye.
like genuinely, it feels like Pokemon Black and White encounter rates. Like, it's just every 5 steps.
You're
there's a
not the
new
only one
thing.
that also agree with that.
Oh no, Black and White had terrible encounter rates.
I'm glad someone agrees with me on that. I thought it had. Okay, it's not related to the topic. Yeah, I hated Black and White's encounter rates. It's like every 2 steps you ran encounter.
So bad. Like, in the game, like, again, like, it's a little tricky at times, but again, I don't know if that's just unfamiliarity with Dragon Quest or if it's my team not being great.
Maybe a little bit of both.
But it could be both.
Yeah.
2 things can be true.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I think overall I've enjoyed what I've played of this game so far, and I'm also really looking forward to part 2 of this when 1 and 2 come out.
It's such a bizarre
'Cause
release schedule. Like, it's very weird.
I mean,
I know they
it
explained
is
it and it makes sense.
it does make sense because, like, for those that don't know, Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3 are a trilogy, and 3 is basically like the starting point of the timeline.
3 is a
Just like
prequel.
Devil
They
May
made
Cry
it,
would
right.
done.
Yeah, so you have
Yeah.
1, then 2 is a sequel, and then 3 was a prequel to the original. So it's like the correct play order
Yeah.
is 3, 1, 2. But
Games just love that.
I know, right? I just it's like Red Dead, where it's like, yeah, okay, so Red Dead 2 is the sequel, but also there's the prequel, so you have to play Red Dead 2 first, then 1. It's just like, oh, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
But
It'd also be really interesting.
DMC3, MGS3, all of
Yeah.
them like to do that.
It'd also be interesting when 1 and 2 come out if, like, you'd be able to, like, transfer your save file, carry over your party or something like that.
my guess is
Or at least, like, the classes and characters.
I assume 3 must just be the longer game of the 3 of them, because if they're going to package 1 and 2
I'd
together for
imagine.
the same price, then it feels like it's like that's very weird to me that they didn't just release this all as one big bundle. But
Yeah.
they've got their reasoning behind it, and,
Yeah.
fair enough, I guess.
Those 2 don't have the obnoxious encounter rate, so you can get it done in crisp 12 hours.
Maybe.
Or they have a worse encounter rate. Who knows? Anything could
Also
happen.
likely. Yeah. And
It's Square Enix. It's a coin flip.
true. Anything else you wanted to add?
I think if you are really looking for, like, an RPG that's, like, super into the role-playing aspect, you'll enjoy this game. But otherwise, I mean, there's a bunch of other good RPGs that have come out this year. And
Would you recommend it?
if you want to push one to the side, like, you're not missing anything by not checking this game out immediately. Like, I like this game. I do recommend it, but it's not like a drop everything now, go
Yeah.
pick this game up immediately.
Cool.
I mean, the beauty of JRPGs, especially this year, is there's been a shit ton of them. And
Yeah.
if you're not like us, where we buy games for full price straight away, like little dumbasses, wait a couple of months, after Christmas and stuff like that, stuff will start dropping down in price a little bit. You might be able to
Black Friday's
pick it up for
coming up.
cheaper. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a Square Enix game. They'll probably run this game on sale every couple weeks
Probably.
in the future.
Yeah.
True.
100%.
That is how they seem to operate over there.
Yeah, and it probably won't meet expectations knowing them as well, but whatever. It's fine. Is it a good game? Yes, that's all we need to know.
It's good.
Hell yeah.
It's good. I like it.
Awesome. Well, there you go, ladies
All right,
and gentlemen. That's
Birthday
the
Boy.
podcast. That's the podcast that we're done. What about Birthday Boy? You can't even see the fucking sign that well there, dude.
Hey, all right, Birthday Boy, what's next?
I don't know what's next. What is next? Do we have anything on the show
That's a
notes?
good question. We
Oh.
didn't put anything in the timestamps.
No, we only planned half a podcast. What a shame.
Oops.
I did it again. Oh god, it's so hard to choose by what do I want to pretend to care about more, Cal? Do I want to pretend to care about Pokemon Go or more Dragon Age? Dude? Yeah, what is the choice? I want to hear about Pokemon Go, Jack. I want to hear about Pokemon Go.
Okay.
Why?
Why?
That's a good question.
Why?
Valid to ask everyone who plays.
Raids for God. What was the legend? Not the legend.
Don't look at me,
Arceus
dude.
Legends.
Oh yeah.
I'm looking at you. The Arceus Legends, Dialga and Palkia forms, the original forms.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
They're now out for raids again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how transferring stuff goes, but what's going on. I recently got back into Pokemon Go because I was bored as shit. Don't have time for games anymore. Hence why I'm here, because
yeah,
all these sad
So he became a mobile gamer.
I became a mobile gamer.
He's 2 weeks away from Candy Crush, boys. He's 2 weeks away.
He's down the pipeline.
He's down the pipeline. He's going to be putting all of his gold into Clash of Clans before you know it.
I'm not gonna lie, I've been actually really enjoying Pokemon Go again. And it seems like such a silly topic to bring back up, but
don't worry. Well. My siblings watch this show and they still play, so the segment's for them.
I'm glad I'm appealing to some audience. But yeah, no, Pokemon Go's been quite good. Do
you have someone to play with, or are you just solo?
Solo just now. But I think what's helped within my region is just there's a lot more stops, gyms, and stuff. There's like a church up across the road from me, so I can always get coins from there. Expand box and whatever. But yeah, I don't know. It's really hard to explain it in a way that makes it like I can sell it, but it's been really fun to kind of like delve
Pokemon
back into a game. Yeah, it's like there's always recognizable Pokemon. Sometimes they're at work on my break, and I'm like, oh, there's some really cool Pokemon here. It's like coughing, wheezing, do that, get a shiny wheezing. If I can do it, there's just always interesting things going on there.
I mean, it's like my experience of Pokemon Go was quite literally the first 3 weeks that the game came out.
Yeah,
because I was in America when the game launched. So I was in America, and I was
back in 2016.
Back in 2016, I was in Florida, and I was in the theme parks, and there's 6 bajillion Pokestops, because obviously you're in a theme park, and they're like, yeah, just fucking put a Pokestop everywhere, mate, why not? But I was having a great time. First 2 weeks, I was like, oh, this is great, doing all my stuff. Then I get home, and not to dox myself or anything, I live in the middle of nowhere, so there's nothing here for me. There are 0 Pokestops. So then I get to a place where I'm like, oh, well, I can see one lone fucking Abra wanting to kill itself halfway down the street because there's nothing else to do. And my nearest Pokestop is 2 miles away. And I'm like, oh, this game just isn't built for where I live in the middle of the countryside in the middle of England. So I'm just going to not play it ever again. And I've never touched it since. So it's like...
Yeah. I got kind of lucky with so I'm next to a golf course now. Which...
Oh, shit.
I play golf in. But it's got a gym there. It's got a gym up at the church on the other end of it. I had a Dynamax raid actually, quite close to mine's, and that was my like first Dynamax. But it's so cool going back into the game, checking up on it years later, being like, wow, there's all these things I can be doing. Especially just the funniest thing with Pokemon Go just now is just booting up the game and seeing Pokemon, because I've not played Pokemon since what, Gen 7? What was Sun and Moon?
Yeah, 7.
7. I've not played Pokemon from Gen 8, Gen 9, but I boot up the game and sometimes I'm like, what the hell is this thing?
Have they caught up now
like-
then? Are they fully up to date now with Pokemon? Is everything here?
Not yet. No, I
don't
think
think
Gen 9 still needs to be put into the game.
Oh, okay. But Gen 8's
But-
in.
Well,
Gen 8's in.
there are some Gen 9 Pokemon, because like I have a Clodsire.
Oh, okay. I
think
couldn't
they
tell you that.
prioritize the variants of things.
Yeah,
There his name
But
is
there's-
Blueberry.
Because like
there's
the last
still
time I was-
so much to do in the game if you play
Look,
Pokemon
here's
and you
another
like
one. His name's
Pokemon.
French Toast.
I think what's
Valid.
really cool with Pokemon Go just now is just like, if you're a new player, it's really accessible. There's tons to do, especially if you're in an area with like stops and gyms. There's so much you could do. Like, I've been sat there for the past. All right, stop showing off.
Look, here's Wooper with a hat.
Oh, you got a little beanie?
Great Wooper.
Look, here's another one.
Oh, they should do one when they give him a beret.
I was on it when Wooper Watch happened, dude. He was on it. He was on it.
Honestly.
It was that whole event, yeah.
Bring
That
back
was the
Wooper Watch,
best
dude. Bring
Game
back...
Awards
yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
I agree.
So when I was playing, it was a Primate watch, or no, Mankey watch.
Yeah.
And I was like, I never knew about Annihilate before. Apparently, it's a really good Pokemon. It's like, cool. Had a Primate. Got a shiny Primate, and I was like, well, this is cool as fuck. Now I'm trying to evolve one of those to Annihilate, but I don't know. It's hard. As a Pokemon fan, it's hard to try and sell it to people, because I've got people in my work kind of back into it again. You know, I was like,
people have been
go
getting
look at
back
this
into
and
it
that.
recently, it seems. It does like say must be something in the water, because it seems like a lot of people are just crawling
I
back.
feel like it's just because there's a lot more to do. You know,
It's definitely a lot better than it was at launch, because like I had the same
I would
issue
hope so.
Ethan had, where I live
think
in
when
the
we
middle
first
of
started
nowhere
playing it,
America.
yeah, when we first started playing it, it was like the first 151 Pokemon. It's like, cool. You can catch maybe like 80 of them. Some of them are locked to regions.
Some of them are
areas.
country locked. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
continent locked. Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
for example,
continent locked.
I can't get Tauros unless I go to South Africa.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Good luck,
why?
dumbass.
Sure, I'll just
Cool
book
idea, but why?
I'll just book a fucking trip to Cape Town, but no.
Well, don't worry, Jack. You don't have to.
Obviously-
Thanks to our sponsor.
NordVPN.
No.
I think what's really nice. What's really nice.
They have a
is that
VPN
obviously
now?
There's so many people playing the game now. If you can just find a community you can talk to and trade, then definitely you can fill out the Pokedex, and it is a lot more interesting. What I'm not a big fan of with Pokemon Go just now is the 5-star raids.
Yeah. The raids were always kind of bullshit.
It's like the game requires you to actually be around people in the same location
Hate it when they do that.
to take down a legendary
Hate
and
people,
catch
dude.
it.
Gross.
That's the worst.
It's horrible. Like, I'm in the middle of bum ass nowhere in Scotland. How am I going to get to play Pokemon Go with me? I'm not going to go walk up to a Pokemon stop in Scotland in the middle of my city center and be like, with
Yeah,
my
you get
phone.
stabbed.
Wow, this is cool. There's a
Pokey
Lugia
stab.
here.
That's what they call it in the Scotland. dude.
Pokey stab.
But I'm not gonna like take my eyes off my phone and look around it and see if anyone else's phone is just looking to raid this Lugia.
Yeah, yeah.
It's horrible. But then, so I found out a week before there is an app, not like a jailbreak,
Oh
Jailbreak.
no.
jailbreak app. It's not even that. It's just an app you can download and you can play with players around the world about getting raid, you know,
Hmm.
stuff and catching the Pokemon. But then I was like, well, that also defeats the purpose. The whole point is you travel, you meet other players in person, and like, oh my
Yeah,
god,
but that's
cool.
the part that's stopping you from enjoying it. So break the rules. Who cares?
So yeah,
But Hunter,
exactly.
the principal.
Who cares?
The
Yeah, then
principle is
you're stuck with Johnny, who's from fucking Brazil and is on a VPN that's probably got like 300 ping. And it's like, and it will be hard to coordinate with people like like you're all over the world. I can understand why might be a pain in the ass.
it's just horrible. Like, I like connecting with other players in the game, but it's like obviously Pokemon Go is not as popular as it was before. It's also specifically in my region, it's not popular enough to the point where I can just sit outside a gym for a day and be like, who wants to raid this egg that's gonna get evolved into a Lugia and then la la la.
Well, it's not really
It's
a
not gonna
British thing,
happen.
is it, to all walk into somewhere and be like, anyone want to be like my friend and do this? Like, no one wants to do shit. Everyone man to themselves. That's like such an
What I
American
find
idea of, and then they're gonna go down the street, bro, and they're gonna see this gym, and everyone's gonna go, hell yeah, let's all get on our phones. Like, no one's gonna do that here. They just tell you to fuck
It's
off.
true,
Like,
dude. I, when I
but
was
it's
in
like
college, I was, so like I was in like a city when I was in
mhm.
college with stuff around me to do, and like there was a gym or like a raid outside of like a movie theater, and there was like I ended up joining this group of like 10 or 12 people, and we all just hung out. It was like I think it was for like a Raikou raid, and it was
And
like it
then
was
you
so
all went and
cool.
watched
I
Morbius
never saw those
afterwards.
people again.
It's such an
but you
That's
never
such an
get to do
American
that
idea. It's
here.
such an American idea because only Americans have the kind of fucking self confidence to go like,
Camaraderie.
yeah, I'm gonna go drive 5 miles, get to a random fucking movie theater, then meet up with 5 random strangers who are just standing there and go, yo, do you want to do this Lugia raid with me? And they'll be like, hell yeah, bro. Like that's just an American thing. That doesn't happen here.
Well, the movie theater was in walking distance for me, but
Yeah, yeah.
it was
Yeah.
just part of my like regular walking path
I don't know.
or near
It
enough.
it feels like I'm complaining more about the player base that aren't interested in it or
Welcome
not
to
playing
online
it.
gaming, though. That's the thing. Welcome to online gaming. Like, that's it.
But
Like,
what I also find really
It's the worst part of FF14.
what I find really funny is I'll put a Pokemon in a gym for like an hour, and then an hour later, your Pokemon's been knocked out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so clearly there's
Where are
someone
these
playing
people
the
coming
fucking
from?
game.
someone's here. Who the fuck is it? Like, yeah,
There's like a church up
done
the
it.
road. There's like a church up the road from mine.
it's the priest.
And there's a
In between
there's a-
sermons, he's just fucking on Pokemon Go. God, I need to beat this fucker's Raikou up real quick.
it's like a Sunday church thing, but if I don't put it there on a Sunday, I'm cool, cool. My Pokemon will sit there for a day or two, gets
Don't
returned,
put it up
get
on
all
Sunday. That's the
Pokepods.
Lord's Day, Jack. You shouldn't be putting up Pokemon in the
The
church.
Lord's Day.
But if I leave it
Put a
there from Tuesday,
Darkrai on it on that day.
if I,
or Giratina.
if I
Yeah.
leave my Pokemon there on like Monday, Tuesday, I'm not seeing it back for like 6 days, and I've got a bunch of rocket battles that I can do. And I'm like, well, I can't use that Pokemon because it's still in the gym 6 days later.
Oh yeah.
And I don't get more coins from having it there longer. It's like the max you can get is 50. And I'm definitely not paying money to buy extra inventory or like Pokeballs or
Cosmetics.
modules. Yeah, I'm not doing any of this. Like, I just want to play the game like a normal person.
I mean, that's fair.
But yeah, besides all that, like I think it's been quite interesting going back into Pokemon Go. And it has been enjoyable, and I do recommend it to people that haven't ever touched Pokemon. I think one of the things I want to mention is as well, especially if you've not played recent games, it is really interesting coming across Pokemon that you've never seen. because it's happened to me now. I didn't play Sword and Shield or Scarlet and Violet. It is cool seeing these Pokemon you've never seen before.
The first time you lay eyes on a Porygon was a life-changing experience.
To be fair,
Now, Jack.
the Gen 9 Pokemon probably look better in Go than they did in Scarlet and Violet, to be honest. So it'll be like, oh shit, that's what it's supposed to look like. Well, that's crazy.
But I was just gonna ask Jack, playing Pokemon Go, has this made you want to go back and check out the newer games?
It does a little bit, actually, yeah.
Hell
I think
yeah. It's
what I'm
working.
more. I think I'm not gonna
The
go buy.
consumerism is working.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna go buy the games. I'm not gonna go out my way
Buy
and buy
it,
the
you
games.
sheep.
I'm not gonna go out my way and buy the games that are out just now. But the next Pokemon game, I might consider picking up because I've been out for 2 generations and I'm like, didn't see the point. But figuring out stuff more with Pokemon nowadays that have come out and new mechanics is interesting. Which another thing with Pokemon Go is it's like they've introduced Mega Evolutions, Gigantamax, Dynamax. They've not brought in what is it called?
Terrestrialization.
Yeah, they've not brought that in because I don't think is it Gen 9 that brought
Gen
that in.
9, yeah. That was the
None of the
gimmick.
yeah, none of the,
It sucks,
of the-
dude. I
Look at me,
hate
I've
it.
got a water
Yeah.
hat.
none of the Gen 9 stuff's come through yet, but once that comes in, I don't know what the app's going to look like. It's probably going to be an absolute mess.
Maybe.
But I could be wrong because I don't know terrestrialization, so
It'll be interesting.
yeah.
Maybe.
But it's good. I've been really enjoying Pokemon Go again, and not even for like the reasons of just new games. I think I've been enjoying it a lot more just because it's something to keep me doing whilst I'm walking places. It's definitely been keeping me a lot more fit, which was like the whole purpose of the app. I've definitely been
Go
walking
outside, yeah.
like yeah. I think one of the things I really enjoy with Pokemon Go is they've introduced like routes. So within your local community, you can like apply to follow a route. You follow it, and at the end of the route, you get more rare Pokemon. You get rare drops of items. It's really good. So I've got a golf course next to me. Walk that route. Done it about 3 times now in the past week. And then you can walk it back, repeat it. You get rare Pokemon. No, it's kind of like it is fun to do it.
It definitely feels like it took a while for it to hit what I feel the developers wanted it to look like, but now
Yeah.
because I mean we definitely played it in like the dark age of launch when you
Trust
had to
me,
cross your
yeah.
fingers to hope you could even sign into the video game in the first place.
I remember in the first instance of the game, it was just, you'd pick it up and be like, okay, here's a starter or 2. And then after that, it's just Rattata, Geodude, and la la la.
The first Pokemon I caught was a fucking Zubat. Like,
True to life.
Yeah. There's still issues I have with the game. It's like the item drops from Pokestops. Like, I never get potions now. But you need them if you're putting Pokemon in gyms. Which now I think is a bit more of oh, your Pokemon got knocked out in a gym? Pay money to heal it back up and put it back in.
Yeah, the microtransactions can be kind of scummy, but
yeah. But I've never had to use them before, so
yeah,
I think that's what's really strong with Pokemon Go is just you don't need to rely on them.
it's not pay to win.
Yeah,
It's just pay to do things faster.
yeah.
Essentially.
Well, I'm happy that you have got your little addiction, and I hope it goes well. And who knows? You'll have to keep us updated. It's always an interesting world. Pokemon Go is always an interesting world.
Genshin.
Mobile games are just in its own universe to me. It's like a foreign land, mobile games, because it's so huge and it's so massive, and it's like I know nothing about it. And even if when I do know something about it, like I say, I haven't played Pokemon Go in 8 years, so it's like God knows it's a completely different beast now. But hey, we'll see you back into it And hey, who knows? Maybe you'll play Gen 10 on the Nintendo Switch 2 in 2029 or whenever it comes out. Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, even before that, like the new Legends game is coming out.
ZA? Za.
Yeah.
No.
Pokemon Zaza. Yeah.
That will definitely get added to the Go roster as well.
Yeah.
Pokemon Pizza.
I mean, they put Origin, Dialga, and Palkia in Go, so
That was really surprising. I think they'd ever put those in there.
I think they have to, just because
anything they can
pat
pat the game with, they'll use.
I mean, I guess.
You know how many hat versions of Pikachu exist?
Yes, I have a lot of them.
As many as there are Pokemon in the Pokedex, I'm sure.
Currently, this week, I'm pretty sure it's Origin, Dialga, and Palkia being brought back with the Go Wild event. So they're in there, and there's some other. I can't remember what the Pokemon is. It's some other Pokemon, I don't know. But Origin, Dialga, and Palkia are there for 5-star raids.
Look at all those hats.
All those hat Pikachus, dude. Look at all those hat Pikachus. Look, now they're hat Raichus.
Oh, good.
Wait, you could do that?
Yeah.
I never wanted to evolve the Pikachu in case it lost the hat.
No, it wouldn't. It would keep the hat.
Oh, I thought it was like
Kyle might evolves.
Okay, this is off topic, but
yeah, look, it's Raichu with a birthday hat.
You could rename that one to be Ethan.
I was gonna say this is off topic, but do you remember like
boy?
The birthday boy.
Kyle will probably remember this more than used to. You got the spiky Pichu from Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
Yeah.
If you evolved that, the Pikachu wouldn't have the spiky ear.
Yeah.
I thought that was a similar thing. You can evolve it.
Santa
well, now I know.
Pikachu.
Now you know. Anyway. Hunter, do you have much to update us on Dragon Age? Do you have anything you wanted to actually say?
I've gotten further in the game. I think I hit the level cap earlier today. That was cool.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so
nerd.
Surely getting to the end soon, I would think. Be awkward if there was a lot of game left and I was just chilling out at the maximum level for so much of it. So I've hit the threshold of I'm killing a lot of things pretty easily now. One thing I can say to the credit of the gameplay is that last week I fought a boss that was like 12 levels higher than me. So I clearly like wasn't supposed to be fighting it, and I still managed to by virtue of just, being careful about what I was doing. And I like that it wasn't just, haha, you're too low to be here, die. You know how that goes. Sometimes I like that I was able to
give it a good old college try.
Yeah. I've seen a majority of the armors in the game now, and it's insane that 130 of them are in the game and about 30 of them are good. As far as the aesthetics of it, I don't know what this game's problem is, but like they either over designed a lot of them, or like specifically the shoulder pads look real stupid.
There's a whole multitude of reasons that could just be, but yeah, I've noticed. To be honest, 90% of games that have armor systems and stuff like that in them have suffer from the same problem, where it's like they have like 3 good designs, and then they go, oh shit, we have to actually make a load of these, and so they just make a load of shite ones.
Yeah. So to be fair, like I don't care that much because the go-to armor that I have is pretty swank. So like sweet trench coat with like a crow feather mantle. I quite enjoy the outfit. They did good on that one. I wish I could dye it, but that's like the extent of my complaint. I've gotten through the end of a lot of the companion quests at this point too, and I think now that I've seen everybody and have gotten to like see a lot of their story, I think that this cast is really good. I've been enjoying them quite a bit as well. So I don't know. People have been complaining about the level of dialogue or whatever in this game, and I don't really think that it's much of a problem.
I've noticed that a lot about recent games, where I feel like there is, I think there's plenty of problems with dialogue in modern games, and I don't think that it's something that you should just shrug off as being a non-issue, because there is. I think one of the biggest examples to me was Spider-Man 2, with how it's like everybody is acting way too formal of each other, and it's like there's a lot of very weird dialogue where everyone's just acting a bit like somebody's watching them, as if like, you know, as if somebody like a higher up from Marvel's pointing a gun at them and being like, say it formally, like be a bit like, you know, like I feel like there's a bit of formality with a lot of dialogue nowadays, but like with like Life is Strange Double Exposure, a load of people have been like, shite writing. I'm like, no, it's just writing you don't agree with because you don't agree with the direction that they took with that video. There's a difference here. You can disagree with writing.
It's like,
it's not bad writing.
Because like people have thrown the overly formal complaints at this game here and there, and I'm like, I don't know. Some of these people are just nice. The one guy literally is like, his whole thing is manners and such. And then you get real mad when the blunt character is kind of rude because they're short with you, you know?
Yeah.
So shut up, pick a lane.
Yeah.
But I've been enjoying it still. I'm, you know, can't wait to see how they wrap it up. The like further along set pieces in the game have been fun. I've liked some of the more involved missions where, you know, the drama starts happening. I got to punch a guy that I really enjoyed punching.
Fair enough. Yeah. I don't know what to. It's weird, Dragon Age, because it's like Dragon Age is in such a weird spot at the end of the year where it's like, I think everyone was expecting it to review a bit higher. I don't think everybody expected it to be as controversial as it is for some reason. Like it's still like it's like an 81. It's not like there's no reason for this to be this much controversy around this game, but there is. For some,
in so many ways, it is like a mirrored version of the second game. The second game reviewed around this around this. It's just like the opposite end of the spectrum, where the second game's development cycle was tortured because they only had, you know, like a year to make it. And this one, they had, you know, way too long.
This game went through. The problem is everyone's like, this game had X amount of years to make, and it's like, realistically, it probably had a half to a third of that time. This is the third version that they've had to make of this game.
Yeah. Like, they scrapped so many things, and it's a miracle that it's even this good. Like, I don't know. I've been enjoying it enough to say right now, unless they trip up at the finish line, I like it more than 2. It's still on the table for me to like more than Inquisition at the end of the day. You know, like, I don't know. Let's see where it goes. But there's nothing as an affront. As a fan, there's nothing that's an affront to the affront to me here. You know.
Yeah. It's been such a weird year. It has been such a weird year. Like with everything, I just feel like I don't know if it is just to do with like the downfall of Twitter and all that jazz, but I feel like everything has just been turned up to 11 in terms of the anger and the vitriol just thrown at video games.
Absolutely.
And
it's all manufactured anger, dude.
It's all manufactured anger, 100%, but it's made the whole industry feel like a very uncomfortable place just to exist in, where, you know, it's been very hard to be like, yeah, I think this game's fine. Like, I just want to just let me enjoy my fun. And then there's about 5 people that you're not even saying that you're having fun with this game. You're not even mentioning this game in the slightest, but people will find a way to come to you and go, I smell that you're having a tiny bit of fun. Let me fuck you up real quick. Let me try and throw everything at you.
Yeah, people are stupid. Video games are still fun. Come at me if you want. I don't care. I will.
But no, I'm glad you're still enjoying it. And then I've not got really much to update on, other than like I've not been playing video games. I played a little bit of classic Overwatch that just came out of nowhere. Didn't it? It was announced like on Monday and it came out on Tuesday. It just kind of just appeared. And it's kind of fun. It's fun looking back at what Overwatch was when it started, and it was a very not bad video game, but it was a very broken, very unbalanced video game.
Unbalanced,
yeah. And it's been fun to go back and have 6 Roadhogs just go around and absolutely obliterate everybody, or to be angry because there's 5 Symmetras and a fucking Mercy on the other side and you just want to pull your hair out. It's been fun, it's been nostalgic, but it also kind of, to me, is big. It's another symbol of what gaming has become recently, which is just nostalgia. Remember that thing you like? Look, here's the thing you like. Would you like to more of the thing you like? And it's like,
sorry you didn't like the new thing we made. Here's the old thing we made.
and it's like, I'm enjoying it. I'm like, this is fun. But I'm also like, I'm kind of sick of this in a way where it's like, I'm kind of sick of the hand holding and the constant, look, this is the thing you like. You want more of the thing you like? And I'm just like, I'd also like some new things. Can we have some new things? That I know that sounds crazy, but it's like, can we have some new things? Please?
I want them to get real crazy and give me some stuff.
Oh
Yeah,
shit.
just anything, dude.
Now
like,
you're being greedy.
Like it's just like I look here and I'm like, look when we go back and we look at last week and we look at the Game Awards predictions, we look at everything that's potentially going to be nominated for Game of the Year, and I'm like, everything is just, Final Fantasy. Like the only thing that I can say is like truly, because it's the first full Astrobot game, but it's had attempts at the past. Like the only thing that I'm looking at is Metaphor, and I'm looking at you and I'm like, bro, I'm squinting my eyes. You're an SMT or a Persona in disguise. You just got a trench coat on. You're an SMT and a Persona elf in a trench coat. I'm like,
you're two Atlas games in a trench coat.
Yeah, you're two Atlas games in a trench coat. You're not fooling me, dude. We're cooked. Like, my God, I'm just sitting there like, this is all we are doing. Like Fortnite OG, Overwatch Classic. Like, look, it's this, it's that, it's everything you liked when you were younger. I'm like, that's great. Can't help but feel we're a bit washed, though.
Pray for us when we go back to Final Fantasy 14 Classic.
No,
I feel out of this going back to Pokemon Go.
Yeah. I mean, there's comfort in going back to things that you like, and there's plenty. It's like, I'm not going to complain. I adored Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I'm in love with that video game. I still am. But I also do sit there and go, Square Enix will not take a risk on fucking anything anymore. They just don't. There is no risk at Square Enix. Even with Life is Strange, they went back to the most safe fucking route they could. They still managed to somehow make it a controversial thing, but they went back to the premise of the most simple, basic, safe thing that you could fucking do. And it's like, that's just what everyone is doing now, is there is no risky bets, because everything has to be an 100 million seller or enough or bust. And it's just like, it just makes me go, oh, remember when there's just the weird shit? Remember when Sony just used to release like a weird fucking video game every year, and everyone was like, why the fuck are you doing that?
Yeah, weird gravity game.
Yeah, why the fuck are you doing that? Oh wait, it's great.
Weird gravity game.
And
rest in peace, Japan Studio.
I just kind of miss those days where it's just like you just got a couple of weird like new IPs, and it's just like, oh, that's a weird little thing. And now it's just like, we have indies, and I love indies to death, but also indies seem to be going in the same fucking place where they just like to go, let's do a roguelite. But that seems to be like a lot of indies at the moment.
Well, yeah, indies have their own trends that people like to chase, but they're quicker to find something else that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just sitting here and I'm just like, I feel like I'm burnt out on video games at the moment, where I'm just like, I just need something to get me back into gear again. This happens like every year or every 18 months, where it's just like, I need a game to grip me again, and it's been a while. I think Final Fantasy VII Rebirth probably was the last time a game properly gripped me, where I was like, oh, I'm having a great time. Like Life is Strange, I was like, oh, I want to play that now, and the game's like 2 weeks and it's going to be shitter than this. I'm like, great, thank you. Appreciate it. But man, 2025. Am I just going to be sitting here waiting for Death Stranding 2? That's what I'm like. That's what I feel like I'm doing, Hunter. That's what I feel like I'm doing. I just want to be Postman Pat again. Like, why?
I feel like you're waiting on Switch 2 as well, though.
I am, but that's going to be disappointing as well. I'm going to get it and I'm going to go, oh, it runs like ass already. It's Nintendo. It's a special, dude.
Yeah, I'm getting kind of worried about that, but,
we'll see.
Topic.
I mean, you should just be comfortable with the reality of the situation.
2024 has just felt like a year of what ifs, where we went into this year going, oh, a load of stuff should have happened this year, and now we've got to the end of it and none of it kind of did. Where it was like, I remember when we were sitting there at the start of the year and we were like, man, Final Fantasy and all this stuff that's coming out, Persona 3 Reload's coming out, and it's like, we'll have Metaphor by the end of the year as well. This is great. And it's like, when you look back at it, and it's like, we've got that rumored Astrobot game, and it's like, we knew everything basically that was happening this year for the most part. In January, there's been a couple of surprises here and there, like a Hades 2 just kind of fucking upped itself out of nowhere. But
good old Supergiant
but it's like, there hasn't been anything where I'm like, we usually have that second half bounce. And there was a couple of things like Dragon Age just showed up out of nowhere.
Yeah, the biggest surprise of the year for me so far has still been like, I guess there's time for Hollow Knight to drop still if they really want to be shocking. But
Silk Song.
Fucking please, fucking please.
If I hear about that game one more time in the next,
don't release it,
please.
But
Kyle
the biggest shock
second.
of the
the
biggest shock of the year has still been Silent Hill 2 being good. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like a prick to being like 2024 wasn't good enough, and it's like because 2023 was fantastic. It was such a big year for games. 2022 was fantastic as well. 2022 was fantastic as well because we had Elden Ring, we had Xenoblade 2, we had a load. Let's see about 3. Sorry, we had a load of stuff, and I was like, oh, what a great year, fantastic.
I'm gonna be real. I think I've enjoyed this year more than last year.
But is it because it's a JRPG year? I think here's the difference here is 2024 has been just a year of a load of JRPGs. If you're a JRPG fan, you've ate incredibly well. I don't disagree with that. I think there's been so many good JRPGs this year. It's been fantastic. I think in terms of variety, I think there hasn't been much variety this year in terms of video game releases.
Was 2020 not the same though with Persona 5 and FF7?
Persona 5, Final Fantasy 7 Remake.
Those were 2. Well, this year has had like 5.
This year has had like Rebirth, Persona 3 Reload, Metaphoria, Fantasio, Dragon Quest 3, HD-2D, Kyle, fill me in. There's like
Dragon
Age,
Paper Mario,
Visions of Mana, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink.
It's been so much.
JRPG.
Well, you're spoiled.
What?
Choice.
JRPG.
Relink? Yeah, it is.
Relink. I thought you said the fighting game. My bad.
No.
But I think it's been a fantastic year for JRPGs, and that's why I said to my friend, because my friend was like, "Where's the juice this year?" Yeah, one of my friends was like, "Where's the juice this year?" And I'm like, "Well, if you're a fan of JRPGs, there's been non-stop barrage, like a dragon. There's been so much stuff this year where you can't get away from the fuckers. But if you're a fan of any other genre, it's kind of been tumbleweeds for the most part. If you're not an RPG guy, this year has just kind of been like, follows Astro." If you like early access, you could play Hades 2.
FPS got a lot. Black Ops 3?
Black Ops 6. Close. We're on 6 Black Ops.
Oh yeah, but if you're an FPS geek, then you're a geek, so who cares?
That multiplayer is still bad, by the way. I tried playing it again. It's so fucking awful. I think the skill-based matchmaking thinks because I'm so higher level, because I've played so much zombies, it's just sticking me in way higher level lobbies than I should be. And I'm just sitting here and I'm getting battered by people that are fucking spending their lives doing stupid shit. And I'm like, how miserable.
He's just bigging himself up.
You're going to end up in someone's kill comp video.
Dude, I was playing it and I'm like...
Do they still do that?
I don't know. I just know skill-based matchmaking has ruined Call of Duty to the point where it's like, you cannot have fun. If you have one good game, the game sends you to fucking... phase land when everyone's a racist and wants to kill and kills you instantly, you know? Like that's just what happens. You just go straight to the hell lobbies where all people do is wake up, play Call of Duty for like 16 hours and then go to bed again. And it's like, I can't do this anymore. I'm 27. I can't do this. I can't get bullied by 18-year-olds anymore in Call of Duty. It's not possible. I don't know.
Realization.
I have a job.
Yeah.
I can't do it anymore.
Who knows? Jeff Keighley, you're going to have to restore my faith. You're going to restore my faith, aren't you, Jeff? You're going to restore my faith in December. You're going to announce so many games that I'm very much excited for.
There's a 0% chance.
No, Ethan, I'm not need to do that.
I'm really looking forward to that one. It's going to be great. Who knows?
Really looking forward to Glup Shidow's crazy adventure.
Yeah. But, you know, it's fine, guys. It's fine. Video games will return once more. We've still got games coming out the rest of this year. We've got Anton Blast. We've got to play that fucking Indiana Jones game as well.
Anton Blast.
That'd be good.
Can't wait for Anton Blast.
I can't wait for Indiana Jones. Am I right, guys? Am I right? Well, hey.
Microsoft
Have fun with that one.
I could play Flight Sim. I have it. I have Game Pass.
Gamers.
I'll link to our screen right now if you want to go and follow us over on Twitter or Blue Sky. One or the two. Some of us are just on one of them. Ooh. Mysteries. They're fun.
I updated the description, so it doesn't link to a dead Twitter page
Oh,
anymore.
thank you. That's really great. Thank you.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
that.
Thought you would have done that when I told you.
I forgot.
But, no worries.
That one slipped under the radar. But
Does that include me?
What? Just Twitters? Or if you're on Twitter, you're on Twitter. It's just Kyle's only on Blue Sky now, so we've had to update all of our stuff to make sure that people
I have a Blue Sky, but I don't use it.
Yeah.
You should start. It's a lot nicer over there.
It is a lot more positive.
So I've heard, but it's also I've heard there's no one there.
No, everyone's there now.
People have done there's been a bit of an exodus.
It's had like its highest surge of new users come in the last week.
Pretty solid.
It was hard to get sold that because when I first joined it like a year ago,
yeah, no one joined then. Everyone made their accounts and did nothing. Now
it's just like Pokemon Go. It was bad and dead in the first year, but now it's alive and
Good
thriving.
job, Kyle. Putting it in terms he understands.
There you go.
I hate you.
I also wanted to give an update. Yeah, I wanted to give an update, by the way, on my Game Pass situation because I've been playing COD on Game Pass. I just ended up buying COD on Steam in the end because it's I finished the campaign.
Oh, right.
I finished the campaign and I wanted to uninstall the campaign, so I just had the multiplayer installed. And the game decided, fuck you, I'm going to delete the entire game, delete your save data from the campaign so you can just never pick that back up ever again. And then let's try and reinstall the entire thing, including all of Modern Warfare 3 and Warzone at the same time, because Microsoft makes a really good app. So I was like, fuck you, I'm just going to go and buy the game on Steam. So that's what I did in the end. So, fuck the Microsoft app. It's dog shit. I hate it. This is an Xbox. This is wank. Fix it. God damn it. This is ass. That's what it should say. Should have a photo of the Xbox app on one of those posts and just goes, this is ass. Fuck off. Like, genuinely dog shit. $1 billion company. Can't make an app that works. My God.
I also, before you continue your outro spiel, just want to give an update on a question from the beginning of this episode. It was 2021 when I played Dragon Quest XI, and you can find my impressions of it back in episode number 66. E3 2021 reaction and review -- did it suck?
Yes. Well, I can answer that one.
It sucked so bad we got half an episode out of it.
Also, to put that in perspective, aren't we on like 240 odd episodes now? So that's like, oh.
Yeah.
Scary.
But that's season 2.
If anyone wants, they can look at other. Okay,
we're on season 5.
We're almost at season 6.
Wow, and you should subscribe so that we keep making this.
So we get there faster.
We get there faster, dude. We double the episodes.
I don't think subscriptions
Shut up,
make
Hunter.
time pass.
Shut up. That's what happens, dude. Can we get to 400 subs? If we get to 400 subs,
subscribers controls the time.
Dude, if we can get to
Chris Marks clips.
No. Anyway, that's it for this episode. Thank you ever so much for listening and watching this week. It's been great. It's been fun. Thanks for coming back, Jack. We'll see you soon, I'm sure. And yeah, next week, who knows what we're doing? Because there's no more video games. Video games are cancelled. So we'll have to
until Anton last.
We'll have to do something else instead. But we'll be back same time, same place next week for more. But until then, have an awesome week. Yeah, we'll see you next time.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure coming back.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Toodaloo.